Hey, what's up? This is Michael Merriman from Let's Start Something. If you haven't seen any of my videos, I'll just tell you real quick. Let's Start Something is the platform that I'm using to start the conversation. So that's what it's about. Let's start something, the conversation. Um, Lately, especially in the last 2 years, here in Phoenix, Arizona, our streets have been flooded with a drug called fentanyl, and they come in little blue pills with an M on it. Now, there's many different ways you can get fentanyl. You can get the powder, you can get the patch, all that. But what I'm concerned about is the blue pills, right? Fentanyl is 100% more potent than morphine, and the whole purpose of me doing this is I'm fighting the opioid addiction in fentanyl. Okay, because I've had the problem with fentanyl. Initially, when I started it, I thought they were Percocets, right? I didn't know nothing about fentanyl. Um, because I had a lot of clean time. I was like clean off of dope of any kind for like 6 years, going on 7 years, and then all of a sudden I hurt my back. And rather than trying to get some help, now I know better, but I understand how to get help, and that's why I'm doing videos like this to inform not just the public, but you guys. And I want you guys to see this, and I want you to pass it on, copy it, paste it, share it, do whatever you can, and hopefully somebody will get back at me, either or that, or they can create their own videos on their Facebook or TikTok or whatever video they want to use. Now, the reason I'm doing this is so the information gets out there, and I'm trying to develop a network of people, not just individuals, but clinics, hospitals, um, the sky's the limit, reality. And the reason I can only do this right now is like some people might call this a charity. I call this my civic duty. Why? Because I've been an American my whole life. Obviously, I was born here in Mesa, Arizona. I live in Phoenix, Arizona now. I'm a patriot. I love this country. I've spent 13 years behind bars in DOC due to drug addiction and other things that basically revolved around just getting high. So I was able to give all those things up and focus on my life and what I wanted to do with it every time I got locked up. Funny thing is every time I started getting somewhere, I mean, I've even had a 4.0 GPA in a college called CAC, Central Arizona College. Look, I was a dropout. I was in LD, what they call special ed, my whole life because I had problems with anger, and I would just pick a fight with anybody, and it was kind of stupid, but I grew out of it. About the time I was 13, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this. That's not who I am. However, given those problems and some of the issues that I've had inside my heart and mind, because I'm really like what you call a hopeless romantic, right? And I'm not talking about romanticism with a woman, all right? That's appropriate, I guess, but I'm talking about I'm a guy who believes that things can be perfect, right? Even relationships, and sometimes they're not. And it breaks my heart that people suffer the way they do. They have anger, they have disappointment, hurt, pain. They don't know how to communicate that stuff, and I get that. A lot of those things underline addiction. All right, addiction is just a symptom of something going on deeper inside of you, and you need to take time, maybe go to rehab or talk to a counselor, even a therapist, and find out what's going on inside. What drives you to be self-destructing? Because initially it's like, oh, it's about the high, right? Especially with fentanyl. But in a matter of weeks, even days, it's not about the high anymore. It's about survival. Every day's a hustle just to get that so you don't get sick. Nobody likes to be sick. I don't care who you are, especially people who are on opiates. I hate it. I'm like, to be honest, it's the only thing in my life that I could ever say I'm a puss at. I don't like to be sick. And I won't be. The last time I got out of medical rehab for my leg, because my leg got snapped in half walking across the street or running across the street, and by a woman who was drunk and didn't see me, and she took me for about 2 miles and left me for dead. Now, when I went to my second place, which was Coronado, and when I came out of there, I was strung out on meds. When I went to my provider, he gave me a week's worth, right? Then when I went back 7 days later, then he goes, well, you need to see a pain specialist. And I go, oh, really? Don't you think you should have told me that before so I wouldn't come in here sick? Because I was sick, right? Because I was taking Oxycontin 10s every 4 hours. And all of a sudden, I ain't got none. What am I going to do? Same thing happened to me the first time, and it's a whole nother story, but I'm going to tell you about this one. So I looked the doctor in the face, and I said, that's really fucked up. Okay, not your fault. It's your policy, whatever. You don't give out pain meds. You have to get pain management. Okay. But to wait until 7 days after the fact is kind of ridiculous, because now I have no medication and they're not going to get me in right away, even if I can get in, because one of the ones I went to, I didn't know I didn't have the skinny on, or the down low on, I guess, and I went in there, gave a UA, and it wasn't clean, and they just turned their backs on me. So I even tried to go back there recently, and they're like, "We can't help you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, I'm like, that was almost 2 years ago. What are you talking about? I mean, you test me now, I don't have nothing. But anyways, I had to walk out and get another pain specialist, and by that time, I was done. I had given up all the opiates. I got clean. I'm not going to explain how now, but I will later, because even though I'm clean, right, and even though I'm trying to do this and be this civil servant that I need to be, and get this thing off the ground, and hopefully have my own business one day. I plan to be a CEO of my own company. It's going to be a nonprofit, and what I'm planning to do is get everybody's head out of their butt, basically, because really people are being treated shitty because they're an alcoholic or they're an addict. Listen, with this, I've said this before, we are not in the 1920s anymore, okay? Alcohol has been legal for a long time, and marijuana just became legal a short while ago, and in years before that it was legal medical wise. We wanted to buy spend $250, $300 for the card, which I never got to. And I don't know, maybe I was smoking or doing the wrong strain. It never really helped me with pain. The only thing that's ever helped me is some kind of opiate. And I know they have really good non-narcotic drugs now, and I'm going to ask that when I go to my next surgery that they give me those instead of the other things, if I can do it, because it's going to be extremely painful. But regardless of the fact, at least I'm aware of the possibility of me getting messed up, because it's happened to me 2 or 3 times. And normally when that happens, man, my brain says, "What are you doing, man? You're a speed freak. You like to go fast. You like to go up and all the time." Guess what? The new fentanyl drug they're cutting methamphetamines with it, so you come down faster, so you want more, so you spend more quickly and then get rich, right? That's the idea, I would imagine. I don't know why else would you cut it with fentanyl? You don't have to. Never did before. But the stuff coming over from Mexico, that's the way it is. So even that is screwing people up, because they don't know what they're taking. They think they're just taking meth, but they're taking both meth and fentanyl. And eventually they'll lead to fentanyl, because fentanyl is so cheap and so prevalent out there on the streets of Phoenix right now, that I can walk out that door right now, look to my left, look to my right, guarantee I take 20 steps, I can buy some, I can get some for free, I can hustle it. I promise you. That's how prevalent it is. Now, I'm going to give you a thought of mine, and I'm going to share with you my idea. This idea is, it's not an idea, it's what I believe. I think by either the year 2025 or 2030, everybody's going to be affected by this drug in this state. I don't care if you live in Phoenix, Glendale, Happy Valley, Wickenburg, Yuma, Mesa, Tempe. It don't matter. It's going to affect everybody. Why? Because it's so rampant. Now, that's why I'm trying to get the information out now, so people can know what they're getting into. It smells like popcorn when it's being burnt on foil. Sometimes even worse than that. It's a weird smell. And people that do it are like, they can't even keep their head up. It's the dumbest high on the planet. You can't even stay awake to enjoy it. It's like seriously, it's ridiculous. I hate the shit. But regardless of that, the plan that I have is to get the information out there. Now, I told you a little something about it. I told you that it was blue. I told you it has an M on it. I told you it's smoked on foil. I told you how cheap it could be. If right now it's probably $5 a pill if you don't know who you're dealing with. Now, if you spend $100, you can get it as cheap as $1 a pill. Guess what happens then? You're going to be taking part of that and reselling it to keep your habit going until it, hits the floor and you can't do it no more. Or you end up in jail or prison for it, or you end up killing one of your friends or yourself, because that stuff is a killer. It killed me, a guy I knew, all of about 10 minutes. Seriously, knew this guy for maybe 10 minutes, right? I took 3 hits off a pill, boom, I was out. He woke me up, said I had a Narcan him, and left. There was EMTs in my room, and there was a guy I'd never met before. I'm like, please, get the hell out of my room. Get the hell out of my room. Because I didn't like the conversation, what they were talking about. So, the guy saved my life. It's the second time I've been dead from opiates. My first wife saved my life by finding some help because she couldn't open the bathroom door, but she knew something was wrong, so she got help from the neighbors, and they came and busted that place open and called the paramedics. They used 5 bags of whatever that crap was back then to bring me back, and I was in a hospital. I woke up sick as a dog, and they tried to kick me out. This was Maryville Hospital. They tried to kick me out, and I was swaying at least 10 feet back and forth, left to right. I couldn't even stand up straight. I was almost ready to pass out. Eventually, they sent security to come pick me up and bring me back and got me a taxi because somebody must have saw what was going on. And of course, I'd have a lawsuit like that. That's the attitude I'm talking about with doctors and nurses, right? They're killing people because they're not being kind to them when they come in, when they have addiction problems, whether it be alcohol, methamphetamines, marijuana, blues, fentanyl, heroin, it don't matter. Once they find out you're on some illegal substance or even an illegal substance, they treat you like shit. I don't care what hospital you go to, it's always the same attitude. And because of that, people die. They killed me once when I walked through the doors of a hospital. I'm not going to mention which hospital, but I walked through the doors and they didn't know I was on meth, and I probably wasn't even forthcoming about it. All I can remember is walking through the doors, waking up 3 days later, face down, with somebody stuffing my back full of cotton and a big hole in my back because I had an infection. So what they did is they gave me some kind of pain medication or something to handle the situation, and what it did, it killed me, and they had to bring me back. See, now if they would have known the truth, that would have never happened. And so, we got to get to the point where not only are we doing what we have to do, the doctors and nurses need to do what they need to do as well. So I hope to change the perspective and the overall attitude about what this crap is and what people are seeing. Now, I don't hate the addict. I don't care what you've done to me, what you look like, what you've done to yourself, and what you've done to anybody else. I don't care about that. What I care about is you suffering through this addiction, because I've done it. And I have found myself at the ultimate low in my life. Now, you have to understand, I've done 13 years in prison. I know what it's like to be alone. But this time, I was truly alone. People don't understand what you go through and how painful it is and how shameful it is, and the guilt and the anger and the rage that you have inside. They don't understand what's going on with you. All they know is that you're screwing up, they don't like it, there's the door. And that's tough, and that's fair, because they need to protect themselves and their family and their interests, especially if you're somebody who generally goes off the deep end and fucks it all up. And I've done that before too. Nothing worse, nothing more shameful than taking your wife, your kids to the streets because you're not paying your bills, you can't find a job, and you're strung out on dope. And I've been there and done that, and I apologize for that. It's a miserable thing, and I hope to never have to go through that again. I'm working very hard on making sure it never happens again. I'm going to a place called Choice Recovery. They're an awesome recovery group place, and they got the right attitude. They got the right program, at least for right now. And I'm learning from them, and pretty soon I'm going to get my peer support certificate so I can take care of myself when I get out of here, because I can't be the roughneck I used to be. I mean, I've done welding, carpentry, electrician, mechanic, you name it. I've done every hard job there is. I've been a wildland firefighter. You know what I mean? That's like the hardest job on the planet if you don't know anything about it. It's like really, really gruesome to go out there and handle what you got to do in order to prevent houses from burning down or your forest from burning down. This state now has firefighters that are called year-round instead of just seasonal, because it's happening more and more and more and more. So, but either ways, I'm not going to be able to do that. All right. It's not that I can't physically do it. I could probably force myself to do it. I've always done it before. But what happens, right? Oh, my back is killing me. I'm miserable. I can't get along with, the old lady and the kids or whatever. It doesn't matter. You got to take care of your health no matter who you are. So if you can't do it, you need to find something else to do, and that's what I'm doing. I plan on being a civil servant, and this is why I started the thing called Let's Start Something. Please start the conversation. Now, what you can do is this. I haven't licensed the name Let's Start Something. I'm not going to. It's a charity. It's a civic duty by me and by you and anybody who sees this. What the idea is to get people to open up, tell people how successful they are or non-successful they are at doing what they're doing in order to live their life. I don't care if it's poverty, homelessness, drugs, autism. There's all kinds of things I've experienced and gone through, and I know that I can help with that, and I know you can help with that. So take the term or the thing called, pardon me, it's an intercom where I'm at a medical respite place for the homeless. I'm getting help with my injuries to take care of my food, my shelter, and my medication. So anyways, What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, please, if you want to make your own video, you want to jump on board with this, you don't got to get a hold of me. You don't even have to know me. You can put "Let's start something" and lay it down in a video, a short one, a long one, it doesn't matter, and pass it on. The idea that when we see "Let's start something," people are going to understand what that is, and maybe stop long enough to look at the video and gain some insight on what's going on. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's really important. Listen, whether you help me or not, I've got a ton of support. I got donors. I'm going to have cars, give people free rides. I help people with cell phones, government phones, find them a place to live, all that. You know, where I'm at now, they're going to find me an apartment. I don't know if I need to take it. So when I'm on my feet, I'm going to get my own place and get a job and do what I got to do. But I'm in line to get an apartment because I've suffered for so long, for so much, that they're giving me permanent housing. That's awesome, right? It takes 6 months to a year, and I can't wait that long. I got to get on with my life. You know, when they offer it to me, it's going to be, as far as I know, it's going to be indefinite. So when it's available and they get a hold of me, I might consider it. You know, because it'll be cheaper on me, but hopefully I'll be the CEO of my own company, and I can pay myself whatever I want and my employees, because not that I'm going to be like super rich. I mean, it's going to be super lucrative, I believe. But I want it to reach its peak, and then once it reaches peak, I'll draw more from it, because the idea has to happen. I have a friend of mine who had a dream, right? He had a dream that him and I, with about 1,000 people behind us, were marching to the state capitol to get things changed. It's pretty detailed and funny, and he'd love to share it with you. His name is Tim. I'm going to have him do a video probably later on when he feels better. He's not feeling too good. He got out of the hospital yesterday. But I'll do another video tonight with somebody else, probably Shannon, maybe a few other people. There's a guy named Nathaniel that I'm not going to share his last name. I'm going to let him do that. He was voted #1 comedian in the state of Arizona, right? This guy was on top of the world. He was headed to Hollywood. He had it all going on. He was a great comedian and a great entertainer. But what happened? He got strung out on opiates. Life is over. As you know it. Now, he got hit by a car just like me. Ended up in here. And he's getting help. I hope and pray that how I got it done finally in my life lately won't be your story, because your story may be even better, because if you can get off the streets, if you can find help, if you can find a detox, and you can get a place to live for at least 30 days and get off the crap, you'll have a chance to survive, right? I've done it before, but it was not that easy, and unfortunately my state insurance will only cover 30 days for that. Right now, I'm blessed that they cover as much as they do right now, because I've been in these facilities straight now for 4 months. I just celebrated my 4th month anniversary, which is on the 21st, right? So very awesome, very cool, you know, but I'm doing it. And the reason I need to do this is to stay sober and to save lives, man. There are people who are dying. I've had friends die. My family members have been strung out on this crap. You know, they become people you don't even know anymore. They'll do anything. They'll sell you out if they need to get high. It's kind of scary and it's messed up, you know, but it is what it is, right? This freaking thing called fentanyl is powerful. We created it for pain, and other people are abusing it and now selling it back to the public to get rich. Pretty fucked up. I'm sorry if you don't like my French. Eventually, I plan to clean up my language again. There's times where I wouldn't even say a curse word, but right now I'm still just trying to get my shit together, if you don't mind. But like I said, I'm going to be a civil servant. I'm going to do what I can for my family and for this state and for my country. I hope it really gets started. So again, use the slogans. Let's start something. Post a video. Let me see it. Share it with me. I have an email that I dedicated just for this business, or for the idea anyways. It's called michaelmerriman@onmail.com. It's ONMAIL.com. Okay. So you can find me on Facebook as well. Just look up Michael Merriman. Pick a profile that shows the medical equipment behind me and me with a mohawk. Okay. And that mohawk, interesting story. I started taking a mohawk and doing it, not just because it looked cool, because it did, but I did it for my son, because he would have loved that on me. You know what I mean? I lost him about 1.5 years ago. I miss him dearly. I plan to do some other stuff in his name, and it's going to happen. His name is going to go up on billboards. It's going to go up on the wall in gold. Trust me, because he was a good kid and a great man. I am so impressed with him, and I didn't do anything but try to, when he was younger, he had God in him. He knew what, and he got older, he kind of slid back from that, you know what I mean? Because all the stuff that he had to go through as a young child, he kind of took the back seat to his sister. It wasn't intentional, but his sister was, very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know now, but I'll share it with you later. Anyway, they're both awesome people, but he died, and I'm sorry for that. I miss him so much. But anyways, I'm trying to live my life doing what I need to do for you, the public. All right? Please help me get the thing off the ground. Look at your city. If you live in Phoenix, look at the streets. Look at QTs. Look at Circle Ks. Look at local gas stations. Look at the bus stops and see what's going on. And go, what? It's not because of COVID. COVID hid the fact that this was happening. Everybody was distracted by COVID, and this stuff just moved in and took over. I'm telling you right now. All right, if you want to know where the real epidemic is, where the real problem is, it's fentanyl blues. I promise you. This disease will either kill you or it won't, talking about COVID. And chances are, if you got a heart problem or a lung problem and you're older, you're probably going to die. But if you check it out, it's 1% of the public. Now, we just not celebrated, but had a 1 millionth person about a couple months ago die from COVID. Okay, that's 1%. 1%. And these people had underlying health issues already. I lost a man named Fred that was here because he was dying of cancer. I mean, he was like this big around, okay? But he was an awesome guy. He used to be a pro golfer turned golf teacher, talked to me about, excuse me, golf and everything else. And so it's terrible. He died because of complications with his health. When he caught COVID that week, I was wondering, where is he at? Where's he at? 4 days later, I find out he's dead. It's kind of bummer. So, but anyways, I know what it's like to be sick. I know what it's like to have your family be sick. I almost lost my brother from COVID. My mother didn't have a good time either. My sister's had it twice. So, be careful. Protect yourself, obviously. The mask is there to protect the person across from you. And the person that's wearing a mask is supposed to protect you. That's the idea, right? Not spread it so quickly, because no matter what, if you are going to get it, you're going to get it. But make sure you take care of your health. Make sure you do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Drink the right fluids. Eat the right foods. Get the right sunlight. All that stuff is important. Make sure you get plenty of sleep, plenty of rest. And when you go to public places, man, just think about it. Put on the mask. Protect yourself. You don't have to do it outside. You don't think you have to wear it on the bus anymore. It's getting to that point. So it's like an endemic, because that's what the doctors are looking at, like right now, the CDC. It's an endemic, not a pandemic, because they're going to treat this like the flu, and it's here to stay, unfortunately. So I hope you pass this on to your friends and family. I hope you enjoy it. And just to see somebody that's just like really passionate, man, I'm telling you right now, if I could, I would get it off the streets, but I know that's not going to happen. So we have to protect our children. We have to inform them of what this is, what it looks like. Be the whistleblower. Don't be afraid to tell on your friends, your family, whatever. Not to the cops or anything like that, because they don't do nothing but cause a bad situation worse, all right? I'm telling you that right now. Don't pick up the phone and call the cops if your son or somebody's doing this stuff. Just do some intervention, all right? If that doesn't work, you have somebody come in and do some intervention. Don't put them out on the streets, because the worst thing you can do to a person is show them that you don't care. You show them that you care, they'll hang on to it and they'll try to survive. You show them that you don't, they're probably going to die. I almost did myself. So, man, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I'm having a wonderful couple weeks, man. I'm getting things done, meeting new people. I'm passing it on. And I just hope that everybody will get a chance to do the same. Please get a hold of me at michaelmerriman@allmail.com, or check me out on Facebook, TikTok. I think my thing on TikTok is Face 76 something. I can't remember. You can probably type it in and find it, but I'll figure it out and post it on my messages before or later. I'm creating videos too that will be more information while I'm talking. You'll see emails and stuff like that. You'll see the names of people and the interviews that I'm doing. So please check me out on Facebook and give me some time, and I'll help. And I hope you give me some time to help me too. It's about tit for tat, not just me. So God bless you. Have a good day.